Now the story of Ibrahim. So the first story in Surah Maryam is the story of Zakaria alayhi salam and his son Yahya. The second story is the story of Maryam and her giving birth to Isa alayhi salam. Now the story of Ibrahim alayhi salam with his people. Ibrahim struggling with his people. What does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say? وَاذْكُرْ فِي الْكِتَابِ, and mention in the book Ibrahim. Talk about Ibrahim. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, my sisters and brothers, is telling us to talk about Ibrahim. How many times we talk to our children about Ibrahim alayhi salam? It's a command in the Quran that we should talk about Ibrahim. Why? Because in his story there are so many lessons, great lessons for all of us that definitely will benefit us. Here is one of them. إِنَّهُ كَانَ صِدِّيقًا نَبِيًّا. When Allah described Ibrahim in Surah Maryam, He described him, alayhi salam, as Siddiq, Nabi. Siddiqan Nabiya, truthful and a prophet. Among the Sahaba, who was known as Siddiq, you all know. Alhamdulillah, Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, radiallahu anhu. Which means, by the way, that Siddiqiyya, the class of Siddiqiyya, is below prophethood. For a person to be prophet, he has to be Siddiq. So if there was another prophet after Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he would have been Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu. There is an authentic hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam saying, لو كان هناك نبي بعدي لكان أبو بكر الصديق نبي بعدي أو كما قال صلى الله عليه وسلم. If there was any prophet after me, it would be Abu Bakr, because he reached the level of Siddiq. And here Allah mentions Ibrahim as Siddiq. He was so truthful and sincere in his niyyah and in his ibadah. May Allah make us Siddiq as well. Ameen. And among women, the Siddiqa was Khadija radiallahu anha. Khadija also is Siddiqa among the women. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu is Siddiq among men. Among the women who followed Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was none but his beloved wife, Khadija radiallahu anha. إذ قال لأبيه, when he said to his father, so the first problem Ibrahim encountered in his da'wah was father. His father. His name is Azar. Azar. The father of Ibrahim was very bad. So don't be surprised if one of your close family members would be an enemy to you. You are no better to Allah than Ibrahim alayhi salam. Ibrahim alayhi salam had a major problem with his father. He was a huge obstacle for Ibrahim to do da'wah. And that was not easy, because we are commanded to be extremely kind and nice to our parents, no matter who they might be, Muslims or non-Muslims. But Azar was not just a non-Muslim. He was really an enemy of Allah. When he knew that his son had turned prophet, instead of just leaving him alone, if you are not with me, at least don't be against me. No, he started threatening him of stoning him to death. Look at a kafir. Even if he's a father, he's ready to stone you to death. And we, the Muslims, we are not even defending Islam. Look at what Macron, the French president, did lately. Unless you don't know, you are just sleeping. What did he do, Macron, just yesterday? He posted the caricature about Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam of Charlie Hebdo on buildings. Now they declare war against Islam and Muslims. And they invaded so many masajid with their shoes, with their dogs, and beat the hell of many of our Muslim brothers and sisters. Two Muslim sisters with hijab have been stabbed almost to death in front of their children under the Eiffel Tower. But you don't hear this on the news. You just hear a Muslim killed a French teacher because he showed the caricature about Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to his students in classroom. But you don't hear what happened before it. So you always look at the reaction. You don't look at the action. And this is the problem. This is the problem of media. It will never talk about what led to this incident. They will just show you, for example, the Muslims defending themselves in Palestine and being portrayed as terrorists. They don't tell you the real problem is occupation. Is that there are people occupying people's land, other people's land. They will not talk about that. So in order to know what happened between Ibrahim alayhi salam and his, but therefore, by the way, therefore, I call you all to boycott the French products from now on, please, for Allah's sake. If that the least we can do for the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If there is any French product that we are having or about to get, please boycott. Do not use French products at all. And I have a list of what you should, inshallah, boycott. I will send it later on, inshallah. I mean it. And Allah will reward you, because that's a sign that you love Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If our brothers and sisters in Kuwait are doing a great and magnificent work in defending the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they took from their shelves all the French products, and they don't want to deal with France at all. These are the people, not governments. Of course, expect nothing from the governments. Expect you and me. What can I do? If I can avoid any French product, let it do it for Allah's sake, for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam's sake, and for sure Allah will reward me and give me an alternative. Please, for Allah's sake, brothers and sisters, this is the least we can do. Because why are you offending Muslims in the most beloved person to them, more than our fathers and mothers? It's uncalled for. But no, they know what they are doing. They know what they are doing. I will talk about this subject later on, inshallah, maybe during questions and answers. إذ قال لأبيه يا أبت لم تعبد ما لا يسمع ولا يبصر ولا يغني عنك شيئا. When he saw his father not only worshipping idols, but making them. He makes idols that people worship beside Allah or other than Allah. He asked his father a question. Oh, my father, why do you worship what cannot hear, cannot see, and cannot help you at all? Look at the question. You can use it in da'wah. When you talk to non-Muslims, ask them, why are you worshiping something, whatever that thing is, other than Allah, that doesn't hear you, doesn't see you, and cannot help you at all? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sees, hears, and can help you, and will help you. إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. These idols, these stones, whatever they worship other than Allah, they can't hear, they can't see, and they cannot help you. يَا أَبَتِي, oh my dear father, إِنِّي قَدْ جَاءَنِي مِنَ الْعِلْمِ, I have been given some knowledge that didn't come to you. Oh my father, I have something you don't have. What is it? Ilmu, knowledge. You know, some children have more knowledge than their parents. My father is my father. He has the great respect, that Allah has given him as a father, and I must show it to him. But my father doesn't know the knowledge I have. So Allah has given me more knowledge than my father. May Allah have mercy on him. My own father, Haji Lakhdar. May Allah grant him Jannah, and my mom. Ameen, and all your parents. And he knows that, and he's very proud of that. That his son is better than him in ilmu. But that doesn't mean I am better than my father in other things, because father is always father. The shaitan played with the mind of Azar, the father of Ibrahim alayhi salam, when his son told him, "Oh my dad, I have been given a knowledge that was not given to you. فَاتَّبِعْنِي, follow me therefore." So this ayah shows us that those who have knowledge should be followed by those who don't know. It's not the other way. Today, why do you think we are in this mess as an ummah? Why so many Muslim countries are messed up? It's because those who lead us have less knowledge than some of those who are following. Some of the leaders, or most of the leaders, have actually less knowledge, meaning they are not in the real position. We should be led by the ulama. Here is the ayah. Ibrahim is telling his father that, "Dad, since Allah has given me some knowledge that he didn't give to you, you should follow me." Oh, that was big. You're telling me to follow you? Yes. The imam could be younger than the ma'mums. Why? Because Allah has given him more knowledge of the Quran than those praying behind him. If I supposed to lead you the salat, I should know more than you the Quran and more than you in ilm. Simple as this. Same thing. Even in the matters of politics, economics, those who have more knowledge should be leaders, not the other way. Come see our situation. Most people who lead, zero knowledge. Zero. They're just clever in lying, clever in plotting, clever in this, in that. That's why they give them positions. They know how to get it by lying and deception and playing this one against this one. Well, real politics is not like that. In Islam, ya ummukum aqra'ukum. Your imam should be your leader. Your leader should be the one who has more knowledge. Ya aqra'ukum here means more knowledge. But unfortunately, the ummah, you can see how it is being guided. إنه كان صديقا فاتبعني, follow me therefore, O father. أهدك صراطا سويا, I will guide you to a better and complete way of life. If you follow me, Dad, you'll be okay. You will not be in this mess of worshipping things that you make with your own hands. You make them, Dad. You are not even thinking. You make them and then worship them. You make them with all your own hands, meaning they didn't exist unless and until you started making them. Then you go and say, "This is my God," and start bowing to him and offering him food and offering him fruits, and then the chicken will come later on and eat his fruits, and all kind of animals stealing his food. Allah. So if you follow me, Dad, I will definitely guide you to a better path, to a complete way of life, which is Islam. Then he said, "Ya abati, la ta'budi shaitan." Oh my dad, don't worship shaitan. By you worshipping other than Allah, actually you are worshipping the devil. Please understand this. Anyone who does not follow Islam and worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, therefore, he or she is just worshipping shaitan. Because all these isms, all these so-called ideologies, religions, other than Islam, are the product of shaitan. It's the devil, may Allah curse him, Iblis, la'anahullah, who creates for them all these type of so-called religions, and people follow them. At the end, what are they doing? They are worshiping the devil. Even if they don't worship him directly, like the devil's worshippers. There is a group of people who worship the devil directly. They call on him and bow to him and this and that. No, 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 no. It's not just them who worship the shaitan. Even anybody who follows another religion other than Islam actually is going to go like a small sungai into a major river. The major river is worshiping shaitan. So he told his dad, لا تعبد الشيطان. Oh my father, please don't worship shaitan. By you worshiping other than Allah, actually you are worshiping your enemy. You're worshiping your enemy. Imagine you go to your enemy and tell him to kill you. You're offering him the knife to slaughter you. You go to your enemy and say, dear enemy, can you please slaughter me? Of course he will be so happy. He will take you to hell. Shaitan will take you to hell. Simple as this. إن الشيطان كان للرحمن عصيا. Oh my father, do not worship shaitan. Indeed, the shaitan is a clear enemy to Ar-Rahman, to Allah. Allah is the most merciful. Shaitan has been enemy to him. He disobeyed him. Just when he created a new creation, Adam alayhi salam, he got jealous. Jealousy. That's why I am surprised at some of you when you try to reason, you try to use your reason to understand something metaphysical, beyond reason. Like you say, why so-and-so hates me? Why? It's just because jealousy. It could be that you are more beautiful than her, and she sees you like that, and she doesn't like it. It could be that you are richer than him or her. It could be that you have more knowledge. You are more loved by people. You are highly respected by your spouse and your children, and they are not. So you have something they don't have. So what's the best way? Instead of saying, oh, Allah make me like him or her, they say, oh, Allah make them lose that favor that makes them better than me. That is Hasan. So please try not to be silly. Sometimes you say, but I have done nothing wrong. Why does he hate me? Why they don't accept what I offered them? No. There is no room for emotions here. Just know Shaitan is your enemy. If Shaitan did what he did to Adam and Eve, and did what he did to Cain and Abel, Qabil and Habil, and did what he did to the children of Yaqub alayhi salam, who was a prophet, and did what he did with all the Anbiya, and did what he did to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam until he got him out of Mecca, what do you think he will do to you? He will play games with you? He will try to harm you. Therefore, always be on guard. Always be on your guard. أعوذ بالله بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. Always dhikr of Allah, to seek refuge in him from shaitan. So he reminded his father about what shaitan is. Dad, don't worship shaitan, because shaitan, may Allah curse him, is an enemy to Ar-Rahman. If he is enemy to Ar-Rahman, what do you think he will be to you? Super, super, super duper enemy. If he is enemy to the one who created him, Allah created shaitan. Shaitan turned enemy to Allah. You didn't create shaitan. So shaitan will be super enemy to you. يا أبت إني أخاف أن يمسك عذاب من الرحمن فتكون للشيطان وليا. Oh my dad, I am so worried and so scared and so afraid that a punishment from Allah Ar-Rahman will befall you. Then you become really friend of Shaitan. Oh my dad, I'm afraid if you don't stop what you're doing, which is making idols for people to worship and worshipping Shaitan and following his footsteps, Allah may curse you and therefore abandon you, and then you become real friend with Shaitan, meaning you will go to hell with him. What did his father say? Now Azar speaking. Ibrahim finished his da'wah and his talk to his father. What did his father say to him? Look what he said, Azar. He said, قال أراغب أنت عن آلهتي يا إبراهيم. Oh Ibrahim, are you turning away from my idols, from my gods? Plural, he doesn't have one God, he has many gods. Are you turning away from what I worship? Oh Ibrahim, if you don't stop what you're doing, if you don't stop da'wah, if you don't stop Islam, if you don't stop calling others to worshiping one God who is Allah, I will stone you to death. So the father was ready to kill his son. You see what kufr can do to you? You don't pay attention to kufr. You think kufr is a freedom of choice. No, they will not stop. I told you, kufr will never stop at just being freedom of religion. Wallahi al-azim, if they have a chance, wait and see. Even here in Malaysia, wait and see. And remember, I hope this day will never come. But keep sleeping, keep being happy with just food and traveling and buying more bags and I don't know, brothers, new cars, and wait and see what they will do to you and me. Huh? Here is France. They say, France, France, the country of freedom, fraternité, égalité. Huh? Fraternity means brotherhood. Equality means equality. And, oh, look at them. Huh? They are bothered because Islam is spreading. They are going to codify a law where they will stop Muslims from having babies. Because by 2050, there is a study, sociological study, that by 2050, the year 2050, France will be majority Muslim country. The majority of Muslims, the population will be Muslim. So they are saying what? With all what we did to the Muslims in Algeria, in other colonies, now we are turning into Muslims. Just look at their soccer players, their national team. Don't go far. Just go to their soccer team and see how many Muslim players are playing for them. Arabs and Africans. Muslims. There are many Muslims in government. Many Muslims in government, in the French government. So they're realizing with all what they did to Islam and Muslims, they're losing it. That's the beauty of Islam. That's the beauty of Islam. That's if you leave it alone, it will spread. If you hit it, it becomes stronger. Because it is the religion of Allah and it has nothing to do with Muslims. Islam is not related to Muslims. It does not depend on you and me. Its strength comes directly from Quran and Sunnah. That's why it's always strong. It's the Muslims who get weak, not Islam. It's the Muslims who get weak. Islam is always preserved and protected by Allah Azza wa Jalla. So, he said to him, if you don't stop talking to me about one religion and calling others, including me, to Islam, I will stone you to death. So stoning to death is an old known punishment. So it's not just in Islam, by the way. It's not brought by Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam like some enemies of Islam, Orientalists say. They say, you see what Islam brought, cutting off of the hand, stoning to death. Well, here is Ibrahim, long time, his own father threatened him to stone him to death. Huh? What would you say about this? Wahjurni maliya, and leave me. Don't be with me. Don't stay with me. You know, the father like kicked his son out from his house. I don't want you to be with me. You see what Kufr can do? Or they're ready to even stone us to death, meaning kill us and to exile us. So Ibrahim understood that he can't live anymore with his dad because this environment is poisonous. And when it comes to a moment where your principles are at stake, you better leave. When you principles, I'm talking about like faith is a principle. It's my faith, no joke. This is who I am. When you start touching that, I will leave. I will leave you.